Hello, darkness, my old Ben.
I've come to talk to you about your aunt. She's kind of an alcoholic.
Your aunt is, there's something wrong with your aunt, Ben.
I hate to break this to you, but she's sort of ruined Christmas today.
1, 2, 3, 4.
These boys only want the best stuff. They want the cream of the crop. They don't want none of that Michael Bay shit. They want the shit that pops. Oscar bait, black and white. Maybe something French. If it's got more than one explosion, honey, put that shit on the bench. Oscar Wieners, Oscar Wieners, Oscar Wieners. These boys are the Oscar Wieners.
Yum, yum.
Oscar Wieners.
Ho, ho, ho! Welcome to Oscar Wieners, the only show on the internet that wishes it had $1
Period.
million. Hot dog!
Hot dog. Hee-haw. What the fuck is that?
Uh, I'm, Kringeline.
Nice. And I'm, the ghost of Christmas future.
No, I'm Michael. He's Ander.
Hey.
This is a podcast where usually every week we pick a Best Picture winner at random and try to figure out if it's Best Picture worthy. But this week we're having a little bonus holiday end of year ep.
Don't put us
Um,
into a box, okay?
yeah, don't put us into a box. We'll do whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah.
Next week,
Tell
this
them.
podcast, we're only talking about Disney Channel original movies from here
That's
on out.
it.
That's it.
Just DCOs, baby. And if you don't like it, you can get
DCOs.
the fuck out, dude.
This week because we wanted to celebrate the end of this good year, bad year.
I'll take it.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Um, by talking about the Christmas holiday classic, It's a Wonderful Life, directed by Frank Capra and starring Jimmy Stewart as George Eleanor Bailey, who just can't get a break in the
No.
town of Bedford Falls.
He's like
Bedford Falls.
he's like if Charlie Brown was a real boy. But Charlie Brown is 6 and George Bailey is unclear how old he is.
At the high school dance, he's 22 because his brother's graduating high school,
Oh.
and him and his dad talk about it. He's like, I'm sorry you had to skip college. I know all your friends are coming back now.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, he still looks 45, so it's not
No, I
that
agree.
big of a
It is
difference.
funny that they're like, and James Stewart, the youngest man you've ever seen. It's like, no, that's an old man. That's a man in his early
That's
40s.
that's an old man. You can't pull that one on me.
And then he gets married. Then he has like 1,000 kids. And the
He has
oldest is
so
probably
many
like
kids.
the oldest is probably like 10 by the time the movie ends. So it's like
Yeah,
he's probably like in his mid 30s.
I don't buy it. I don't buy it, Hollywood, okay?
George Bailey spends his entire life in Bedford Falls. He keeps trying to get out. He wants to travel the world. He wants to be an architect. He wants to uh, fucking live an adventurous life. But at like literally every single this guy should never say he's going to leave or do
No.
something, because that's when something happens. He should just do it and not tell anybody about it.
Every time.
It's like the universe is conspiring against him.
Yeah. Oh, George, you can't go to South Africa. What about the building and the bank and whatever the fuck their
Yeah,
shitty business is called?
the Building and Loan.
We're gonna
Yeah.
go under, and the entire town's gonna fall into the sea, George. You can't leave.
Yeah. Yes, like first
Sucks.
his dad dies, then the Great Depression happens, when him and his wife get married and are going to go on their
Yeah.
honeymoon. This movie doesn't even let him and his wife go on a honeymoon for like 3 weeks. It's like he can't ever leave.
No,
And by the end of the movie, he's like, I think maybe it'd be better if I was dead.
because he's got a life insurance policy on him.
Yeah, that's worth double what double the money that he misplaced that his Uncle Billy
Yeah.
misplaces.
Obviously he shouldn't, but like in my head I was like, well, he's not just depressed. It's not a bad idea. You'd get money at least. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
So they
Um,
just,
and right when he's like about to, Clarence the fucking angel hops in the water and is like, "Hey, oh, you think you'd be all right never being born? Well, let me show you what life would be like." And then they walk around Bedford Falls, or Pottersville as it is
right.
redubbed. And he
Named
sees
after
how
the
bad everything is.
yeah, Pottersville
Pottersville is
is
like an apocalyptic, like sleazy hellhole.
named after the villainous bank owner who basically owns everything in the town and is trying to get after George's business.
Yeah, Mr. Potter played by Lionel Barrymore, who played Kringeline from the Grand Hotel, if you'll recall.
Wait, really?
Yeah,
Wait, Kringeline he
he's
was
the
like
guy that
the
was dying.
oh, interesting. So now the shoe's
Yeah,
on the other foot because that character was trying to get back at his like righteous boss businessman,
wasn't thinking of that. Yeah,
and now he's evolved. Look what he's become. You
yeah,
become exactly what you seek to destroy.
yeah. If you live
Unbelievable.
long enough, you're either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Nolan, baby. Merry
I believe
Nolan
that's
miss.
Shakespeare.
Merry Chris Nolan miss.
Yeah,
Am I
why are we
right?
talking about Tenet?
The ultimate Christmas film. Um,
Um,
I'll go ahead and say it.
yeah,
This is barely a Christmas movie.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, I would almost lean towards it's not.
Hey, okay.
Well, because the Christmas part is just incidental. Like, I get that there are angels, but there's no Santa Claus. There just happens to be Christmas. You know what I mean? But it's
Yeah,
not core to the plot. I would put it in, like, the Die Hard Home Alone category.
Home Alone's a Christmas movie.
Ah,
Well, I see what you're saying though. It's like Home Alone. It's like it's not that doesn't happen because it's Christmas. Like Christmas
yeah.
isn't like yeah.
Christmas is not a focal. Like, you can. It's a Christmas feels movie. Like, I get it. I get watching it during the holiday season, but it's not really a Chris. It's not about Christmas.
Arguably it's about the values of Christmas, or at least like the sort of like it's be togetherness, community, anti-capitalist.
I need more.
Huh?
I need some more.
You
Give
need
me
some more.
some. I need some. First of all, there was no color. I need some red. Give me some like red and green. You know what I'm saying? Give me some
Hmm.
elves. Give me some Saint Nick. Give me some reindeer. Give me something.
Give me a Fred Claus at least.
Give me Fred. I'll take Fred. Why not?
Do you like this movie?
I do. Yeah. You know what? It's got enough.
Because I thought we were gonna start this year and be like masterpiece, love this movie, but then like
uh,
as I was like going over the plot, you were like, yeah, like I was like, oh my God, he's kind of annoyed. Does he not like It's a Wonderful Life?
no. It's just like sometimes I'm laughing at it, but I do like it. Like, it's very endearing. I think there are a lot of cute moments in it. Um, there are a lot of cute romantic moments that don't necessarily cover up the ugly romantic moments. But there is a lot of, I think there's a lot of good stuff that can warm your heart if you're a Grinch, if you're a little Grinchy boy.
Yeah, if you're a little Bailey.
Yeah, if you're well, Bailey is nice. He's like he's a nice guy. He's like in the holiday.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess he becomes a Grinch kind of
He
towards
has
the end.
Scrooge moments,
He
but
does.
they're motivated by like circumstance, not by like
Yeah.
yeah, it's not like who he is.
I do like that there's a pretty stark contrast between like George's dour attitude after they lost all the money, and then his kids are like the cutest kids they possibly could have cast in this film.
His one like son is like pulling on his pants. He's like, "Excuse me." And he's like, "Excuse you what?" And he's like, "I burped." And then he just like kind of toddles away in his fucking full diaper. And it's really cute.
It's great. Yeah, then there's what's the name of his kid with the flower petals? Zaza or something?
I
It's
think
like Zulu or Zuzu.
I think it's Zuzu. Damn, those kids are fucking. Yeah, I don't know. It's something with a Z. It's like Zoo. It's
Yeah.
let's say Zuzu for now.
Yeah, she picked a flower at school, and then like the petals fall off, and she goes, "Daddy, paste it."
Yeah.
George Bailey's like his business is down the shitter, and his life sucks, and he's suicidal, and he's like, "Oh, fucking paste this fucking flower." Yeah. I thought that I was cracking up. I love that part so much.
Yeah. I love this movie. I think it's a perfect masterpiece.
Wow. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. This is like my fourth, this is like probably like my fourth time seeing it.
Okay.
And I love it. I love every single thing about it. It always makes me cry. It makes me I love a movie. There were a few movies that made me actually feel like this year, which I loved. Like Barbie, Asteroid City, kind of both of those movies kind of gave me this feeling of like you leave the theater and you're like, "Oh my God, I'm so happy to be alive. I'm
Yeah.
so happy I get to talk to my friends and call my parents and kiss my love."
Yeah. You know what? It is a similar feeling.
Yeah.
It's just not my favorite. Like, I wouldn't put it in the top 5 of my Christmas movies. I do like this movie. I think it's really good.
Mhm.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't consider it like one of the best things ever made.
I think it is my favorite Christmas movie.
Oh, real? Oh, look at you. All right, you just bumped it up now, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good for you, dude. Hey, hey, man. This is the season. Hey.
You're like, come January 2nd, I'm gonna fucking roast your ass. But right now,
Right now, I'm
tis
in the
the
holiday
season
spirit.
to be jolly.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I do have questions for you. If this is such a great airtight movie that only you can answer, by the way.
I am Frank Capra's ghost.
Everyone
Who lives
of-
in me.
Everyone responsible for this, they're all dead.
Yeah.
So now it's on you. The onus is on you. When he's quote unquote dead and Clarence is showing him all that shit, what he goes into the bar and then Nick is like way more Italian.
Listen, buddy, why don't you get out of here or I'll bite your nose and smack your ass?
I'll slip you a left for a convincer.
Yeah.
He's like 3 times more Italian. And who's the guy who owns the bar, Martini?
Martini, yeah.
He's George's best friend.
He's like, hey, that's my best friend you just punched.
And in my mind, I'm like, we just met you.
Yeah. Well, my thinking is the reason he says that, I mean, I'm sure Martini believes that. My thinking is though, like, George is sort of the main person who helped him, like, his family, like, move out of fucking Potter's slums.
Yeah.
So Martini thinks very highly of George
Martini,
Bailey.
expand your circle is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't seem like it's reciprocated. It doesn't seem like George is like, yeah, man, you're my best friend, Martini.
I think this movie's, largely remembered for the Clarence stuff, like the basically the last
Yeah.
like 25 minutes of this movie.
It really is so late in the movie.
It's like an hour and 40 and it's like, all right, now it's going to be this for 25 minutes and then we're going to wrap
Yeah.
up. But I kind of like how that's structured. It's almost like Frank Capra's like, all right, I'm just going to squeeze in like a quick Twilight Zone episode in this 2-hour movie.
a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
And I like it. I liked how that's structured because they just go. It's unique, like they just most of the movie is George Bailey backstory. It's like all these different events in his life. He takes over his father's loan business, and then he's got a rivalry with Mr. Potter and all this stuff. And it's interesting. Like it builds sympathy towards him as a character.
Yeah, like the movie is basically framed through the point of view of these two angel galaxies telling Clarence, this angel star, about George Bailey's life.
Well, that's God, right? The one true Christian God.
Right before this, I watched Back to the Future.
Okay.
Squeeze that in really quick.
Right,
I watched
yeah.
It's a Wonderful Life and Back to the Future today.
Okay.
Because It's a Wonderful Life reminded me so much of Back to the Future that I was like, I have to watch that now because I want that same vibe.
God, you're right though. It's
It's
just
like-
in the sense of like things that could have happened and didn't happen, or here's where it would have been if this wasn't existing.
I just think like when he goes back to 1985 and it's all fucked up and like Biff has like taken over, he's basically like Donald Trump running
Yeah.
Hill Valley.
That's like Mr. Potter.
Exactly. It's like very similar. It's probably like I imagine Robert Zemeckis and Bob Gale love this movie. Those corny asses.
You're probably right.
Yeah, it's just the vibes were just like I wanted I felt so good after watching It's a Wonderful Life. I was like, I want something with the same vibe, and I was like,
Yeah.
Back to the Future, so I'm gonna watch that.
It does really make you feel good. Like it does a good job of it just takes you through the mire of like here's all the shit that happens to George Bailey. And now we're going to end on such a high note of like people coming together and supporting their fellow man. And it does make you feel good.
I
So I
also
guess it has the Christmas ideals.
yeah, I also like speaking of that, I just like really kind of love this movie, like what it has to say politically. I like really like.
What is what is it saying though? I guess like
It's sort of
stick up
saying like,
against.
yeah, it's like standing up against like systems that don't work for people. Like, I mean, George Bailey at one point has that whole speech to Mr. Potter, right when like after his dad dies and they're sort of like uh getting the building and loan together back, like sort of back in order after his death. And George Bailey's about to leave for college. He says to Mr. Potter, I forget exactly, I should have written it down, but he said something like like people, if people went to you to the bank for loans, they like wouldn't be able, like they wouldn't be able to save enough money to like pay off the loan or whatever. And like he's like the building and loan is giving people loans so they can like buy a house, and it's like people can't like save enough money to buy a house, but he trusts the people who are asking for loans. He trusts their character. He knows them, and he's like, all right, I trust you to pay me back eventually.
Right.
If I don't know, it's just like I think I just like the philosophy of this movie.
Faith in your neighbor.
Yeah, exactly. And even at the end, it's like he thinks he's gonna go to jail, but he never thinks to like go to the people in town who he's helped. And it's like, no, we're all fucking in this together. It's like
Yeah.
everybody comes together and is able to raise like more than enough money to help him out. And it's like we don't have to cave to Potter. Potter
Yeah.
can lick my shoe.
But why where did they get the money from? Because they're all borrowing money from him in the first place, and now all of a sudden they got cash out the wazoo. They're like, yeah, I'll give you all my money.
Some people haven't been paying their loans.
Uh-oh. I feel like that's gonna come back to haunt them, but that's I guess a story for the sequel.
It's a poor, poor life.
And it doesn't get better.
No man is a failure who shakes down a couple friends for cash.
No, that's right. That's the Oscar Wieners' official stance on the matter.
I think this movie was actually investigated by the FBI for being like, like being like sort of a communist sort of leaning film.
This
I
movie was
think
investigated.
I think it was investigated. I don't think anything ever happened, but I think the FBI was, it was like
Is that
McCarthy
real?
era. People were like investigating. It was, yeah.
I can just imagine a fucking like a McCarthyist just sitting at home, just watching this movie, being like, "We should get that fucking dirty commie director."
That's what it seems like Joseph McCarthy was like.
Yeah, I think
Like
so.
he's just sitting in a seat, just like fucking pissed. He's like, oh great, wait till the American people get a load of this shit. It's
All
gonna
this
infect their
communist
minds.
news media, get off my television.
Kick Charlie Chaplin out of Hollywood.
Get him
He's a
out.
communist.
Red done.
He said war is bad. That makes him a communist. Kick him
Oh,
out.
sick. I'll tell you which
That's what
part
it's
of this
like.
movie makes me livid, just
Tell me.
absolutely furious, is when
Tell me.
Uncle Bill he fumbles the bag big time. Oh my god.
He loses the bag.
Yeah, what a sad series of events. He's first of all he's in the bank talking shit to Mr. Potter. He's like, "Oh, those Bailey boys, they're quite something, those boys. You said they wouldn't be nothing." And then he fucking hands him $8,000
Yeah.
by accident.
It's really rough.
Ridiculous, honestly. If I were
Yeah.
George, I would have strangled him too. That's because after all the shit that he's had to deal with, it's like things are finally looking up, and your uncle just like forgets about some shit. And
Yeah.
what is his deal in general? Is he a zookeeper? He's got crows and squirrels. What is he doing?
Yeah. That's his house. He has one crow at the building and loan, which is fine.
But then he has a squirrel.
Yeah, he did have a squirrel at his house.
Why make that choice for his character?
He's a little freak.
I guess it does lead into the fact, like that is a guy who I would believe would lose an envelope of $8,000,
Yeah,
which
that's my thing too, is like I would not give him the money to deposit into the bank.
right. I mean, in 40s dollars, in today's 1940 in today's dollars,
That's just how much you think it is.
oh my God, I'm thinking of it, and it is Jesus.
$35 billion dollars.
Listen, I wasn't gonna say it. I'm glad you did because that is a hefty sum to lose.
What's some of the romantic stuff that you didn't like in this movie?
It's really just the scene with the bush, like when he first dances with Mary.
Oh, and he's like keeping the rope from her. He's like,
Yeah. He's like, I'm like, all right, can we wrap this up? And he's like, I think maybe I'll pay people to come watch. And I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, can we just wrap this up, please? And she's like, no, no, seriously, like, I'll call the police. Please give me my robe back. And he's like, oh, the police are, I own the police. Like, weird shit. I'm like,
Yeah,
what
he said the
fuck
police
are
would
you
be on my
talking about?
side. Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, they're like, they wouldn't believe you, sweetheart. I'm like, oh my God.
It's 1946 and you're a lass.
I'm like, Jesus Christ. Everything else though was nice. Like I like I'm really into the idea of I love the attitude of we don't care what the circumstances are as long as we're together. We're gonna have a nice time. Like when they just spend their honeymoon in that old house. I find that really romantic.
Yeah, I agree. Mary, played by Carol Donna Reed, excuse me, is truly the one holding down the fort. I mean, she's the one that raises all the money at the end when she finds out that George is in trouble.
Yeah. Shout out.
Uh, she makes their honeymoon good, even though he's like George is quick to wallow. Well, maybe,
Yeah.
and not he's not unjustified. Like his life, the whole movie, I'm just like, I feel so bad for this guy. Like this
Yeah,
guy
his life
literally
beats
can't
the
even
shit
go on a
out of him.
vacation.
No.
He just has to be in Bedford Falls forever.
Cursed.
So I get like all of these instances just sort of piling up and him being like, okay, obviously the universe is conspiring against me and doesn't want me to like do anything that I want to do.
Yeah.
Um, but that leaves it up to Mary to sort of solve the problem.
And she does. I mean, I don't know.
And
She's
she
good.
does.
She's
Yeah.
good. She's quick. She's smart. She's tenacious.
Very good performance too, I would say, by Donna Reed.
Yeah.
It's very charming. I like the scene. I mean, he shakes her, and I'm a little bit like, take your hands off her. But I do like the scene where where
Back up, Al.
Sam Hee Haw Wainwright is on the phone talking about investing in plastics.
I do
And-
like that scene. And you're
and,
right.
like-
It teeters.
Yeah, because like George goes over George's mom is like, hey, fucking Mary's back in town from college. You should go over there and marry her. And he's like, yeah, maybe. Eventually he ends up over there. He goes in. He's so rude to Mary.
Mary makes him art about a thing that he said once.
4 years ago.
Yeah. And she's like, I made this for you. And he's
Like she went to college and has been thinking about you the entire time.
like that is, and he just like shits all over. He's like, I don't know. Whatever.
He's like,
That's
oh
nice.
yeah, that thing that you said that we did that one time. Oh my God. And
But
then
yeah, when they're on the phone call.
Then he forgets his hat, so he comes back in while Mary's on the phone with Sam Yeehaw Wainwright, and then they just like keep getting closer and closer. Like Sam's like, put George on, and they're both talking. He's like, I want you both to invest in plastics, and like as he's talking, it's getting closer and closer. His like nose brushes against her forehead, and then like he drops the phone. He's like, I'll tell you what I don't want to do anything that I don't want to do, and blah, blah. And he like goes and he's like shaking
Yeah.
Mary, and he's like saying it to her, and then like he starts kissing her. It's like sad. It's also like chill out, George, but also it's like romantic. It's like there's a lot of stuff
It's a
going
mixed
on.
bag, yeah, but
Yeah,
it is
yeah.
powerful.
Yeah.
Like when they're just like staring into each other's goddamn souls, you're like, oh shit, I feel that.
Kind of crazy when he says, like towards the end of the movie before he has his freak out, he's like, Why do we have to have so many damn kids? I was like, whoa, that's a
Yeah,
dark, that's a
that's a
dark thing to
dark
say.
thought that he just like
To
tosses.
just
He
say
just
out
lobs
loud.
it out there. Why do we got so many kids anyhow? Anyway, where's my ham? It's like, oh, okay, well, you can't.
Yeah.
So that's not just something you just drop out of
Yeah.
nowhere. All these kids I wish didn't exist. Even me, Daddy. Especially you.
Zuzu.
Especially you, sweetheart. The scene in the very beginning where George saves that guy's life, the guy who owns the little candy store. Was he gonna take him on purpose?
He was giving them to George as a kid to take to like a person who like had a prescription at the pharmacy.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, so he was gonna like, and then I think later on, like in the alternate present that Clarence brings George into, um, I think Bauer, is that his name? Is that the Gower, played by
Yeah.
H.B. Warner, Mr. Gower. When he in the at Nick's bar, Gower walks in and Nick's like, "We don't serve you. You drunk. Get out of here."
Oh,
So
because I guess he lost his job after that.
Nick says to him, because uh, George is like, "Hey Nick, you don't have to talk to him like that." And he's like, "And that's another thing. If you hang around with drunks who kill little girls, like who whatever."
Oh,
So I guess it wasn't. I thought it was like an old person that they were bringing the medicine to, but I guess it was like a kid.
got it.
So like it was like I feel like doubly bad.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's like
Like you can kill old people.
not exactly what I'm saying, but um,
That's no. That's I'm willing to make that our official stance.
well,
Our official stance on the matter.
anyway, I find
Old people
that
replaceable.
they smell like mothballs and strawberry candy.
Actually, that's nice.
Yeah. No, I find that scene so like it's just so sad. Like
Yeah, I
when
mean that's the
George,
intention.
yeah, like George, he's like, because George doesn't bring the pills, obviously, because he's like, I don't want to aid and abet this murder. And and Mr. Gower, like, he's like getting a call from them. He's like, oh, he didn't bring the pills, and he's like, George, why didn't you bring the pills? And he slaps him like a bunch of times,
Oh, that's what happens.
and he's
Still,
like,
maybe you shouldn't have a big box of pills labeled poison with the skull and crossbones.
I agree, but I think also he turns the bottle around, like little George turns the bottle around to look at what it says. And I think on the back is like an old label that that it seems like Mr. Gower tore off and then relabeled it. So maybe like he put it on the
Why?
shelf wrong and like he thought like, oh, those are the pills and he took them down, but it was actually poison. I think that's the
That's
visual stuff that I picked up on.
that's fucking stupid. I don't know why he would ever do that.
Have a poison bottle that like visually you know it's the poison one.
Why do you have poison?
Yeah, why do you have poison pills? Is it like to kill mice or like what's
But then why are they pills?
yeah.
I don't know. The whole thing is not up to code.
Suspicious. So you think Mr. Gower was trying to kill people? He was making his own little poison concoctions and George Bailey found out and Mr. Gower gaslit him and played the victim.
Mr. Gower was upset because he was upset with George because he made him kill the wrong person. He was going to kill a different person. He's like, oh no, this is who I was supposed to give the poison to.
Yeah. Got anything else to say?
No, just that there are a lot. You know what? There are a lot of sweet moments in this movie. I like when they're flat broke and they're celebrating the $2 that they have left. And they're like, we got two big ones.
Yeah.
That's such a great moment. It's like, you guys are in trouble, but we're having fun.
I find it incredibly it's like so entertaining and watchable.
It feels
got a lot of
very
energy.
long. I thought it was like 3 hours, but it's not. It doesn't have that much energy. I think it's a little bit more laid back, which I think it's a good vibe. But like I'm not like locked in. You know what I mean?
I just think everybody talks really fast, and that gives it some energy.
That's just because it's from the 40s.
Yeah. Should we move on?
Yeah, move on, dude. Let's keep this train rolling.
Um, so obviously we're not gonna do the, best movies of. You know what I fucking can't wait to watch? Keep this in.
Okay.
I can't wait to watch Zack Snyder's. It's about to go live on fucking in 50 seconds. There's a countdown on IMDb
What?
on Netflix. Zack Snyder's new movie, Rebel Moon Part One: A Child of Fire.
What
I
is
can't
that?
fucking wait to watch that absolute train wreck.
What is it?
It's like so when Disney bought Lucasfilm,
Oh, this is
they
some Star
they
Wars?
yeah, Star Wars. They started they like greenlit a bunch of or were developing a bunch of Star Wars projects, like movie projects with just like very very prominent directors as a way to, drum up interest and, excitement or whatever. One of them was this movie that, Zack Snyder, he did fucking
Yeah.
Watchmen, 300,
Yeah.
fucking Justice League. His movie was going to be a Seven Samurai Star Wars riff. Seven Samurai is the Akira Kurosawa famous movie,
Whoa.
where it's like seven warriors get together to defend this small, vulnerable village from like invading people. Um, so that's what Rebel Moon. So that project eventually, whatever, Disney was like, never mind. But Zack Snyder took that idea and just like made it his own sort of universe. Like he didn't make it. Obviously, it's not Star Wars anymore. So he just took that idea, made his own thing, and it just looks so fucking bad and weird. And it's like it's two parts. It's fucking like gonna be like a 5 hour. When the two parts are put together, it's gonna be like a 5 hour movie. I am just so interested in how wrong it's gonna be.
So it started out as Star Wars, but then he was like, fuck it, I'll just like make some tweaks and then it won't be Star Wars anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
Weird vibe. I guess if you put a lot of time and energy into something, you kind of want to get something out of it, but
Yeah,
maybe let it go, Zach.
yeah, I just can't wait. Sorry, I just saw that on IMDb. So normally we do read the best picture nominees of the year that we're covering. But since we're not doing that this episode, I pulled up the most popular movies and TV shows tagged with the keyword Christmas dash movie on
Okay.
IMDb. Um, and I'm gonna ask you to guess the top five. Um,
Top five rated like movie Christmas top five rated Christmas movies on IMDb.
yes.
Okay.
Um, we'll just do 1 to 5. It doesn't, or do you want to do 5 to 1?
I'm just gonna throw some guesses out there, and you tell me if it's in there.
All right. So, number one, what is your first
Well,
guess?
first,
Most
well, off
popular on
the
IMDb.
most popular or highest rated.
That's a good question. I do think it's most popular, which I'm
So what does
going to
that
ass
mean?
It's not ratings. It's not even votes. What the fuck?
So what is
What
this?
is
Just
this?
people.
What is this fucking system?
This is just people
I
who are
can't
talking about it.
honestly. Maybe.
Well, because then there's gonna be a recency. It's gonna be like I don't know, fuck it. It's gonna be Fred Claus is number one, and then
No, no,
the
no. All five are very popular movies that you've most likely heard of.
okay, but we don't know what they're being ranked by.
No idea, because
Okay,
the first one it has 7.6 stars. The second one has 7.7. That doesn't make any sense right off the bat. The first one
that
has
doesn't make
500.
any
The
sense.
first one right off the bat, in terms of votes, it has 500, a little over 500,000 votes. The second movie has a little over 600,000 votes. It doesn't
Votes
make.
for what?
I don't know. I don't run the
Why
website.
not? But what is the list? Is
I'm
IMDb
not
presents
Ichabod
this list?
Michael Charlie Bradley Cooper.
But does IMDb? What do they present it as? They're like, here are our top five Christmas movies.
Yeah, most popular. Uh,
Okay.
oh,
All right. All
maybe it's
right.
by keyword. Hold on. Shut up. You're sorry. You're talking too loud. Shut up for a second.
Yeah. Yeah.
God fucking damn it.
They don't have like an article that's like, here are our top five.
All right, let's do that. Let's do that. IMDb. I just thought it would be more of like the people's choice,
Okay.
but I think going to like fucking Variety's top 40 Christmas movies is better. Yeah, here we go. Variety top 45, and
All
that's
right. Wait.
from
Reintroduce the segment.
no, keep it in. Who cares? It's the
All
end of the
right. Fine.
year.
All right.
Don't edit
Okay.
it. Although I think you should cut out of this episode is when you said old people should be dead or whatever you said.
No, it's staying in. We
Um,
said it.
see now they're not numbered. What the fuck is this? Maybe you will have to do some cutting. Let's move over to Esquire. What do they got? Do I have to be a subscriber? Do I have to fucking pay $5 to read Esquire? Here we go. All right, so we're gonna do the top five of Esquire's top 60. What's it called? Christmas movies of all
So I
time.
gotta guess what the motherfuckers at Esquire are thinking.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. All
All
right.
right. We'll go 1 to 5. First one shouldn't be hard.
That's Elf.
No.
Really? Jingle All the Way?
It's about a down his luck guy.
It's a Wonderful Life?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, I definitely should have gotten that.
So that's number one.
Okay, I should have done that. Okay.
Number two
Two.
is just a classic Christmas comedy starring just one of the all-time great cinematic fucking families, I guess.
Oh. Oh, then is
Like
that
fictional families.
Christmas Vacation?
Absolutely. Ding ding ding
Okay.
ding
I've never
ding.
seen that.
It is very funny. It's probably the best of the vacation movies.
Okay.
Then we have number three.
Don't even tell me. It's gonna be A Christmas Story.
You're absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Nailing
It
it.
didn't even need to, I didn't even need to.
Are you a contributing editor at Esquire
I've been
magazine?
meaning to tell you this segment might be a conflict of interest.
All right, number four.
Hmm.
It's not a Black Christmas.
Okay. A White Christmas?
Here we go.
What is that? Was that a
Um,
movie?
that's with Bing Crosby and Danny Kaye as music act
Oh.
partners who team up with two sisters to help their former military commander save his Vermont lodge.
No.
God, that sounds so overly complicated.
And then five has to be. It's gotta be one of the claymation ones, right? No, huh? Man,
Live action.
I love those.
I'm gonna see if
Live
those are anywhere on this
live
list.
action The Grinch?
The Jim Carrey one.
Yeah.
Incorrect.
Oh, is there like an old A Christmas Carol?
uh, I'm sure, but no.
Okay.
It's just the fucking only 90s kids would know.
Really? Oh, that's Elf then.
That's 2003. But I see what you mean. Only 90s kid, like
Elf
90s
is
kids
not
were.
in their top five?
No, Elf is
That's kind of bananas
Elf was
to me.
like 8. No, Elf was 13. Kind of high, kind of honestly too high. Elf's a good movie.
Really?
Yeah,
I can't name 12 movies, Christmas movies that are better than Elf.
I agree.
Um. Oh, you're saying it was high. You're saying it was high as in
Like
low.
high on the list. Like it's not
You
high,
mean low.
low up in the list. That's what I mean. Yeah.
Got it. Got it. Got it.
It's like when my
Okay.
dad says scroll down, but he means up or whatever.
It is exactly like that. Five. Do I know what it is?
Yeah,
Have I
absolutely.
seen
It's about a kooky little guy who hates Joe Pesci.
Stuart Little?
A
Oh,
kooky little guy who hates Joe Pesci.
Home Alone?
Yeah.
All right, fine.
Listen, I like Home Alone just fine. I
I
don't
like
really-
Home Alone. I don't know if it's a Christmas movie.
Right. Yeah, you did say that. And we were kind of quiet for 40 minutes.
of.
Sort of silenced the room. I like Home Alone. I don't totally I understand why it's a classic. I just don't it's just not a classic for me. I like that movie. I'll watch it, of
Hey.
course, if it's on TV, but there's so many other Christmas movies that I like more than that.
That's life, baby.
Also, speaking of like the Rankin and Bass stuff, We've got Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer at 15.
Too low.
Is kind of low.
Does Charlie Brown Christmas count, or is that a
That's
holiday
that's
special?
14. That
That's
d-
that's fucked up, dude. That's fucked up, dude. That's not even in the holiday spirit, dude. That's top three. If it's not top three, you're a P. If
You
it's
hear
not
that,
top three,
Esquire?
you're
You're
P.
turning Ander into an absolute like surfer for that.
That's right, Esquire. You're on my fucking list. How's this for a list? You're on my hit list, huh, Esquire?
Okay.
Yeah.
So you hate old people, and you're threatening
Done.
you're threatening the editors of Esquire
Yeah,
magazine.
yeah. Tis the fucking season, huh? Merry Christmas,
Uh,
Esquire.
Oscar Wieners Inc. does not condone or agree with any opinions expressed by any of its constituents.
Put it in writing. What's number five?
Home Alone.
Oh, Home Alone. I blanked out for a sec.
This list is kind of silly though. Like I get what it's doing. It's just lists are so crazy because like they're trying to be cool, they're trying to be quirky, but they're also trying to like play the hits.
They're trying to get clicks.
Yeah, exactly. Like number 19 on this list is Eyes Wide Shut, the Stanley
What?
Kubrick sex orgy fest.
That's fucking stupid.
Like I love that movie, and it is technically a Christmas movie in that it takes place at Christmas. Um,
No.
I just don't. Why is that on the list? I don't know.
That's a DQ. That's not a Christmas movie. You're done. Die
It could be
Hard,
on the
you're
list of
done.
it could be on the list of Christmas movies you'd most like to fucking have an orgy with, but that's a different list.
That's all. Listen. I'll bring back. Listen, find my list on Letterboxd. Top five. My ranking of the 15 best Christmas movies you'd like to have an orgy with. Number one. It's fucking Year Without a Santa Claus. Heat Miser. He's hot. If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If you could even process that level of comedy.
That's
Anyhow.
been our episode, I guess.
No, it's not.
Oh, do you want the people have to say?
So I got something different for us today.
Okay.
We got a one-time segment. The film that we just watched, it deals with what life would have been like if the protagonist didn't exist. So I went through our pantheon of Oscar winners. I am gonna bring it back to the best pictures. We are talking about it.
Mhm.
I'm gonna give you a brief little blurb. Each of these descriptions is if a certain character, famous film character, hadn't been born, and you got to tell me who I'm talking about.
Okay. This is a fun game.
All these are from Best Picture winners. So if he hadn't been born, Apollo Creed would still be the heavyweight champ.
That's Rock. 1976 is Rocky.
That's Rocky. Now I'm looking for the character, not necessarily the movie.
Okay. Okay.
But yes, that is Rocky. If this person hadn't been born, Llewellyn Moss would have absconded with a briefcase of cash and upgraded to a double-wide trailer at least.
Anton Sugar.
Yes, it's
Chigurh.
Anton Chigurh.
God, that movie's so good.
That movie's so good. I was thinking about it again, and I was like, damn. If this little twerp hadn't been born, frankly, London wouldn't be much different than it is now.
Oh, is it Oliver Twist?
Yeah.
We've covered so much like British shit that I'm like, I don't know. It could be like Around the World in 80 Days. I don't fucking
But
know.
there's only one of those movies where
There's a little twerp in it.
truly nothing would be changed.
Yeah. Oh my God. Totally.
If she hadn't been born, Morgan Freeman would have had an extra room in the back of his car.
I don't know her name. Driving Miss Daisy.
I would have Miss Daisy, yeah.
Oh yeah, Miss Daisy. Obviously. Jesus Christ.
If this guy hadn't been born, Elvis would have had no dance moves, and a certain lieutenant would have lost more than just his legs. Yeah, it's Forrest Gump. Lieutenant Dan.
You know, I was kind of hard on that movie. I think we should have a bonus revisit episode.
Well, no, it's kind of on wax now anyway. Last one. Your opinions forever cemented into the annals of history. The last one. She contributed a lot to the war effort, but if she hadn't been born, Carol would probably still be alive. Although, somewhere, there'd be a rose with no name.
Oh, Mrs. Miniver.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have fucking driven that car.
No. All
Just
right,
stay in your house.
stay in your house. Hey, listen, stay in your house. Don't go outside.
Stay in your house. Don't go outside.
Stay in your house. Don't go outside. Don't leave. You have no reason to leave. No need. There's no
There's no
need.
reason to leave the fucking house.
Don't leave the fucking house. You'll get shot with an airplane bullet.
Then I guess if you stay in your house, then like a fucking Nazi might show up. You're spouting his bullshit at you.
Yeah, yeah. Miss Miniver didn't exist. That Nazi just would have been talking to thin air, I guess.
Fucking imaginary Führer in his stupid fucking head. Um, that's all. That's all she wrote.
That's all she wrote.
Great app. I think it's our best one yet.
Merry Christmas.
Christmas. Kind of hard to talk about a movie. Like, I think our conversation was good and stuff. Kind of hard to talk about a movie without the context of like the best picture stuff. Did you find? I found that a little bit.
Nah.
Yeah,
Well, you know
no,
what it is?
Totally.
This movie's all vibe. It's all vibes. There's no.
Yeah, it's kind of a hard movie to talk about. Next year we'll do Christmas with the Cranks, I think.
How about
I want to do something bad, you know what I mean?
no? Like bad. Like the movie's bad.
The movie's bad. Well, also
Okay.
I want to TP I don't know, like a police precinct or something.
Okay, we could do that. We could arrange that.
I want to
Classic
TP the
Christmas.
White House.
Classic Christmas prank.
Yeah. Until next time, put your wiener in put a wreath around your wiener
Yeah.
and give it to somebody who's sweet on you.
Oh God.
With consent, of course.
With consent, of course. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Tis the
and
season.
yeah, 'tis the season. Goodbye, wieners.
1, 2, 3, 4. These boys only want the best stuff. They want the cream of the crop. They don't want none of that Michael Bay shit. They want the shit that bops. Oscar bait, black and white. Maybe something French. If it's got more than one explosion, honey, put that shit on the bench. Oscar wieners. Oscar wieners. Oscar wieners. These boys are the Oscar wieners. Oscar wieners.
Oh, Mary. Oh.
Why, Mary? You want the moon? Why? Just say the word, and I'll let your lasso up there and pull it down for you.
Who is this? Yeah, I want to talk to your husband. Yeah, well, your teacher's making my kid go get pneumonia. We serve drinks for gentlemen who want to get drunk fast. Privy?
You just like Nick. You just want to be Nick.